broadcast. The Earth is being invaded by flying saucers from Mars.
That's right, Earthlings. The 3/4 scale pinball invasion continues in our homes. Now we have the Arcade1Up Attack from Mars pinball cabinet coming soon to United States, already released in Canada. I had to get this from the Buy Stuff store, had to have it imported into the States in order to get my hands on this as soon as possible. Taking a peek here, according to my Marvel pinball review, I really wasn't interested in getting any more of these cabinets until some additional improvements were made. Go check out my Marvel pinball review, and a lot of those same issues that are on that Marvel pinball cabinet kind of follow into the Attack from Mars cabinet. The cabinet definitely is a work of art. The fact that there's no Arcade1Up and Zen Studios branding is really good. My only complaint about the artwork is on the back box side panels, the artwork is so fuzzy compared to the high definition artwork on the sides. But minus that small quirk on the back box, as you can tell from the video you're watching, this cabinet is absolutely stunning. All the way from the adjustable feet, the chrome metal legs, bolted in with 3 bolts, this thing is ready to take a beating. The fact that the cabinet inside and out is built very solid, definitely like a tank, just like the Marvel cabinet. I mean, I really didn't want to get another one of these because there are some definite flaws with these cabinets. They have a lot of pros, but also opportunities for improvement. My good buddy Michael B. the Game Genie, he really talked me into it, saying I would like this one more than the Marvel. So here I am, I'm giving it a shot, had it brought to my house, and man, this thing definitely stands out versus the Marvel cabinet. And the Marvel cabinet is gorgeous, but definitely with the front of the pinball machine filled in with artwork instead of a black front end. Yeah, I still think these coin doors, I mean, they're okay, they're cool, but I do think Arcade1Up and Zen can come up with a cooler looking coin door, actually put like a fake keyhole on there, things like that. And sure enough, a lot of the same issues we have with the other Marvel pinball machine we have here. We have the spongy buttons, but we still have a very nice, decent plunger with nice Hall effect technology. Since I already did a full review of the Marvel cabinet, you definitely want to check that one out. In this review, we can make a lot shorter and tighter, and kind of go over the same stuff, because these cabinets are virtually the same hardware, same everything, except the games included and the artwork. So no sense beating a dead horse twice. Taking a look here, of course, even though the back box has got some modified artwork on it, it looks great. No hot spots anywhere, and of course we do have our 24-inch screen with our 8-inch DMD, just like the Marvel pinball machine. And of course we have the same issues with the DMD that we have on the Marvel cabinet. We have a very washed out DMD display. Taking a look at the 24-inch screen, happy to report that I have both machines, and yes, the colors do look slightly better on the Attack from Mars cabinet than they do on the Marvel pinball machine. It's not a drastic improvement, but it's definitely what appears to be a better improvement overall in the brightness and contrast on the games compared to the Marvel pinball machine. We still have a 24-inch screen that's capable of outputting at 1080p, but with the hardware chosen by Arcade1Up that Zen Studios had to work with, all the games are outputting at 720p, and we do have some concessions in regards to the graphics and the quality of the graphics in the gameplay. And of course, just like the Marvel pinball machine, we have 10 pinball games. But as you can see here, Attack from Mars, Fish Tales, Medieval Madness, some of the best Williams Bally games of all time. Very, very exciting stuff, and these games are really cool. And because these games are all based upon real pinball machines that actually existed in real life, I can see that someone like me who really likes real old school pinball, I'm really going to enjoy probably playing this a bit more than the Zen Studios Marvel tables, because those games are all just kind of Zen originals, video game style pinball. These games actually have better physics to them, the Williams physics. And what's interesting here is on the Marvel pinball machine, we just have top 10 scores for each game, and they're very easy to achieve. But on the Attack from Mars tables, each table has different achievements that you could possibly get, such as who's the Martian champion and things like that. Your top 4 scores. Unfortunately, all the scores are set really, really high. You need to be a pro to break that leaderboard. Diving into the settings, all the settings on here are pretty much identical to what you can or cannot do on the Marvel pinball machines with turning ball trails on or off, which you definitely want to do on here. Williams tables, real pinball tables, did not have ball trails, did not have pop-up scores. If you want to have the best experience possible, go ahead and turn those off. That way those don't pop up. They're defaulted to on. And of course you can adjust the physics volumes, turn your solenoids on or off, your sound effects volumes, calibrate your plunger, and adjust your music volumes and things like that. In all honesty, same settings minus a couple of tweaks due to the different kinds of games on this cabinet. Having a DMD in the back box doing so many things during each and every game, so many different unique things, is really cool, but it's just so washed out, just like the Marvel Pinball Machine, utilizing only about half of the DMD, as well as the coloring and everything just doesn't look great. Arcade1Up and Zen, you really got to fix this on the next generation of pinball machines. And when it comes to playing pinball on a 24-inch monitor display, I'm actually really used to it with my Toy Shock, as well as playing on the PC in portrait mode. My PC monitors are 24 inches, as well as playing on Sharpen and other devices. So 24-inch screen, I really don't have a problem with it as long as it plays and works well. Although I do prefer playing on virtual pinball machines that have much larger screen. So although we have 720p resolution and some weird looking graphics, the good news is everything is running at 60 frames per second. So just like the Marvel Pinball Machine, no flipper delay, which is absolutely important when playing virtual pinball. A couple other small improvements on this machine versus the Arcade1Up Marvel Pinball Machine is that the playfields are actually taking up almost the entire screen. If you saw my Marvel Pinball review video, I showed you that. You're playing on a 24-inch screen, and with all the assets on the Zen Original tables in the back of the cabinet and front of the cabinet, with all the different characters and things needed on screen, it really shrinks the actual size of the playfield. The ball looks super tiny. But on the Williams tables on the Attack from Mars, the ball is about 3 times as large, and the playfields take up almost the entire length of the cabinet. In addition to that, although there is still a noticeable lag with the accelerometer, it is not as bad of a lag as it is on the Marvel Pinball Machine, so improvement there on the accelerometer as well, but it's definitely not perfect. When it comes to the quality of the graphics, you'll see right here, like this is Junkyard. Just like the Marvel Pinball Machine, some of the games look better than others. Junkyard is one of the games where throughout the entire game, you can very noticeably see that the graphics just aren't the best. There's so much blurriness, jagginess everywhere on the playfield instructions, on the side rails, on all the assets, on all the typed font. It's really hard to see everything on this particular table. So some of the tables look worse than others. And in comparison, Medieval Madness looks pretty good in my opinion. Less jagginess all around, the graphics and everything on the table, easier to read, everything looks better. The castle looks pretty darn good in my opinion. In my opinion, Medieval Madness, Attack from Mars, and a few other tables actually look a lot better on here, especially in regards to the wire rails on the ramps and things like that. Everything looks a lot better on this table and a couple of others. When it comes to the DMD, I'm not showing any lag between what is happening on the screen versus what is happening on the playfield. Everything is in sync, works well. Yes, the DMD is washed out, tiny, and being underutilized with half the screen. However, no issues. The animations are fun for all the games, all 10 games. There's so much cool stuff happening on the DMD. Always fun to take a peek up when you can, when you're trying not to lose sight of your pinball, to see what's happening up on the scoreboard. Taking a look at the experience, of course, Attack from Mars, one of the best games of all time. It also looks and plays really well. Attack from Mars and Medieval Madness are probably the 2 best games included out of the 10 games, and you're going to have a blast playing them on this cabinet. When it comes to the 10 games, 9 of them all work and work really well and are a good experience. But when it comes to Whitewater, that game is absolutely unplayable. It is suffering from some major frame drops, frame delays, frame skipping, whatever you want to call it, when the ball is flying around the playfield. The game is absolutely unplayable. The fact that this cabinet got released like that is... I just don't understand how that could possibly happen. Arcade1Up and Zen Studios need to release a firmware fix ASAP to the public for their micro USB to do a micro USB fix and get that game running properly or replace it with something else. We paid $600 to have 10 pinball games working and working well, and we only have 9. That's not good in my opinion. Minus that game, everything else, you know, we still have the same issues we have on the Marvel cabinet. Is it still fun? Yes, I think a lot of casual folks out there are gonna love it, just like I said in my Marvel review. You're gonna love these pinball machines. Once you start playing them, the fact that it's 720p, the fact that the graphics aren't the best, all that kind of goes away as you dive into the world of pinball and start juggling that ball back and forth and trying to set high scores. A lot of that complaints, they just kind of vanish. However, Arcade1Up definitely has some improvements that they need to make on these cabinets in the future in regards to staying competitive in this market with other options out there in the market. The sound system rocks, and of course, if you have multiple Arcade1Up pinball machines in your arcade room, they obviously match. They kind of look in sync with each other, and they're going to look pretty stellar in your arcade and gaming room. As you can see here, these cabinets side by side look pretty dope. Am I going to get Star Wars? No. I know I said I wasn't going to get another one after Marvel, but definitely after Attack from Mars, although as you can see here, the screen is less washed out. Still, it just has the same issues that Marvel does for me, and I just can't see myself spending another $600 on just the ability to play 10 more pinball games. To keep this review video from dragging out, we'll have a separate video coming out on this channel with extended gameplay footage for all 10 of the games included on the cabinet. So do me a favor, keep your eyes peeled for that video. If you're interested in seeing more content on how these games look and play on this cabinet, I'll try and get that done ASAP. But from a purpose of review, the cabinet itself is $600 in most places, sometimes $550, and you're probably getting your $550's worth. But then again, Arcade1Up has to really address some glaring issues with these cabinets in order to make them the best experience possible for us to spend our money on. I understand the cost of the licenses and the titles that they want to have included on here are high, but a lot of the other competitors out there are giving us a 1080p 60 frames per second experience with backbox displays, no washing out of monitors, pretty nice buttons included on the cabinets, and things like that. And the fact that Arcade1Up is not delivering on some of the little things to make this the best experience possible concerns me. I will definitely not get another one until I hear or see announcements that a lot of improvements are going to be made in the next generation of pinball machines. Although I will say I do like the Attack from Mars pinball machine more than the Marvel pinball machine for all the reasons stated in this video. Definitely want to hear your feedback and comments below, guys. Let me know what you guys think of these Arcade1Up pinball machines. Do me a favor, give me a thumbs up on the way out if you enjoyed the video. And as always, guys, thank you for subscribing.